Hello and welcome to our Art of Advocacy show. So I know as busy moms and dads, we have like so many things going on in the summer, right? You've got kids' sports activities, you might have doctor's appointments going on, you've got some personal things that you would like to accomplish this summer. You might be trying to squeeze in some vacation time before school starts. So it's like, oh my goodness, how do we keep track of all these things? Well, today we're going to be talking about the O word. So I want you to make some guesses. What do you think that O word is that we're going to be talking about today on our Art of Advocacy show? So type in the comments. I'll look and see. Let me check here and see what your guesses are for our O word. And while you're typing in the comments, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. I'm Charmaine Thaner. I'm a retired teacher, a parent of 3 kids. Our youngest son, Dylan, happens to have a disability. I've been an advocate for decades, and I just am passionate about helping parents like you be a more effective advocate for your child, because I know the special education process is like overwhelming and very confusing to many, many parents. So I want you to be able to get the education that your child deserves. I want your child to be happy, to be safe, to be learning at school every day. So that's what my whole life is about, pretty much, as far as making sure that kids with, especially kids with disabilities, are getting that education that they deserve. So welcome to our show. Today is about the O word. Does anybody have any guesses as to what that O word is? Yes. Let me see. Let me see if we have any guesses yet. But I just want to also talk about some of the things that, we try to schedule, like I said, and try to fit in during the summer. For many parents, the summertime can be even more stressful because our kids aren't at school, they're not doing their usual routine, but we still want to be able to get a lot accomplished during the summer. So, what we're going to be doing is just looking at some of the ways that you can use this O word to help you. And I don't see any guesses yet, so I might just have to tell you that the O word is organization. Now, don't stop and switch away and stop looking or stop watching the video, because it is going to be something. I've got this new tool that I just learned about from Molly Mahoney that I've been using, and I just can't wait to share. But first, let's look at some of the things that we've done in the past. So I know, one of the things that I love are sticky notes. And so I have pads of sticky notes everywhere. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll jot down either my grocery list or, something that I've got to remember to get done. If it's work related, what I used to do was write it on a sticky note and put it on my computer. Now, I don't know if any of you are fans of sticky notes, but that's sometimes one way that you can have something quick and easy to organize your day, maybe. Or the other thing I love is scraps of paper, right? So I recycle paper and cut it up and use it again. But then it's these little scraps of paper get lost, or there's a pile of scraps of paper on my desk, which doesn't really help me very much. And if you're just joining us right now, I want to tell you too that I've got a free gift for you. Just stay tuned towards the end of our show. I'll be talking about a free gift that will help you get things organized. But if we also look at more structured kind of to-do list. I took a productivity class with a wonderful person, Brendan Burchard in Oregon. And so he had different categories. And so what I did is I typed them out on pieces of paper, and it's hard for you to see with the glare, but I'll go through it with you. So this is called a productivity planner. And what he had you do was to think of 3 major projects that you're wanting to accomplish. And you list each project, and under there you list 5 things that you want to accomplish for each of those projects so you can move that forward. And then he would have you list, like, who are the people that you need to contact today? And you would write the people's names and phone numbers or emails down. And then he said, also list the people that you're waiting for. So if you're waiting for a call back from the doctor's office, or you're waiting for a call back from the school district about something, you would make a note of that so you can keep track of, like, oh yeah, these people are supposed to be getting back with me. The other thing on the productivity planner that he would have is, what are your 3 main priorities that you want to accomplish today? So I just kind of made my own template for this. If this is something you're interested in, you can type template in the comments. And I used this for quite a while, and I don't know if it's like I just get tired of using one system, or it doesn't seem to quite work, because then I've got to keep printing off all these papers. But I don't know, it didn't seem like it was going to be the answer for me to be organized. So when I was looking around the house, and I thought, oh, I remember, I also used to have this planner where it was more like just like a weekly calendar. But one of the things that I loved is because it would have photographs in it, it would have quotes. So each day when I would look in my planner, it just kind of cheered me up. It seemed like that was a nice thing to have. But the reality is, like, this is a bulky thing. So I would carry this to meetings with me, and I would write down when we're going to have the next IEP meeting or something like that. But, this is not something I always had with me, obviously. So then it was like, do I put a note in my phone? How do I remember this other thing that just popped into my head? So this wasn't working so well, but I did like having something all together in one book. And being a retired teacher, for some reason, I have like this affinity to lesson plan books. And I saw this lesson plan book. It was Planning to Change the World, a plan book for social justice teachers. And I thought, this is something that just resonates with me, because I see disability rights as social justice issues. So I got this plan book, and, I've used this pretty consistently this past year. And what I like is, you have those spaces for each day, and there's quite a bit of room where you can list a lot of things. Well, again, this is kind of a big book, and I don't have it with me all the time when ideas are popping into my head. So it's like, that doesn't quite work either. Well, when I was talking with a friend, Molly Maloney, she had mentioned this new app that's free. So we love free, right? And it's called Workflowy.com. Well, you go to Workflowy.com to find it. And it's like really cool because it syncs both with your phone and your computer, which is like really important to me because most of the time during the day I'm working on my computer, but when I'm out and about, I have my phone and I need to be able to coordinate. So I do have a calendar that syncs both to my phone and my computer, but it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't work that well for a list of all the things that I need to get done. Now, if you're a list person, this app, Workflowy, is going to work really well for you, I think. And it's that same kind of idea where you categorize different main projects you have, and it can be work related, it can be your family projects, it can be personal things that you want to keep track of. But if you had a list of all those things in all those different areas that you needed to do, sometimes just looking at the list is like, this is too much. What I like about Workflowy is you can collapse them and only pick one area that you look at. So I've been using it, and recently I'm doing some prep work because next week I'm going to Sacramento. I'm going to be a speaker at the National Down Syndrome Congress, and I'm doing a workshop about IEPs. And the title of my workshop is Your IEP Road Trip Begins Here. So I found one of my old atlases, and yes, they still make atlas, and it's kind of hard to show. It just reflects, but I cut out all these different maps from the atlas. And what I'm doing is one of the handouts that the people will be using at my breakout session, I glued it to the map. So I don't know, it's like, obviously this is kind of time consuming. I'm going to be making one of these for each of the participants. But, to me, this is, I don't know, it makes the workshop a little bit more fun and engaging. So this is one of the tasks that I put on my Workflowy for the National Down Syndrome Congress. So I make sure I get everything done that I need to before I head off to California. Now, another project that I'm working on is my IEP Bot. And you might have seen, I'm going to see if I can bring her up here. On my Facebook page, I introduced you to her. She is called IEP Bot. And what I'm excited about is I'm going to be helping you have more individualized resources that I can give you for free. So, we love the concept of individualization, and sometimes that doesn't happen so much on IEPs. But I thought this is a way, if I use my robot or my IEP bot, that I can have a conversation with you. It will be on Facebook Messenger. So if you hear a little ding on your Facebook Messenger, it might be a message from my IEP bot. And I'll be giving you choices of, do you want information about this? Would you like information about this? And you'll be able to select what's going to be most helpful for you. And then my IEP bot will go to work, and she'll send you automatically those resources that you've asked for. So that's going to be really cool. The next few days, I'm going to be setting her up so she can go to work on my Facebook page. And so that's a project that I've been also using the Workflowy with, because, as I said, that's a free app. And now for all the different tasks that I need to do to set up my I don't know that word, to automatically send you Facebook messages with my IEP bot, I've used Workflowy to list all those different tasks. So I make sure I get everything done in the right order. Now, the next project that I'm working on that I'm really excited about is an IEP Scavenger Hunt. Now, this is going to be a 5-day challenge that, again, will be free for parents. And I don't know about you, but when I think about scavenger hunts, there's always this I remember things like when I was in Girl Scouts or with a church group where we would get together and have a team, and we had this list of things that we had to find in the neighborhood, and it was always a bunch of fun. So probably in August, the 5-day IEP Scavenger Hunt Challenge will be rolled out. And to give you a heads up, you'll need 2 copies of your child's IEP so you can participate in our fun IEP Scavenger Hunt. So keep your eye peeled for that. And again, I've been using that Workflowy app to list out all the things I have to have ready so I can give you the fun experience of going on an IEP scavenger hunt. Now, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you post them in our box. And even if you're watching the replay, I go back to the video and I look for questions and comments and I'll reply to them. So if you're not here live, if you're watching the replay, you can still get your questions answered. Just type them in the comment box and I'll come back after the show and answer all those questions. I do have another project. It's like, okay, Charmaine, how many more projects can we get done this summer? But this is something I've been really thinking about and starting to plan, and now I'm actually getting it underway, is an advocacy online course. And this will be really great for parents because we'll have a private Facebook group where we'll be offering support, but there'll be videos and there'll be checklists and handouts and all kinds of resources that you can have available 24/7 online. And so I'm really, looking forward to having a way that I could provide more specific kind of strategic steps that you can take as you're becoming a more effective advocate for your child. So make sure that you're looking out for that. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about, I asked on a survey, but I also wanted to ask here on live is, I don't know if you guys would like, I could do like a Facebook Live show about organizing all your school records. I know there's a lot of systems out there, and most of those systems have you categorize in a notebook, like all the IEPs, all the, evaluations in another tab, or, medical records. But actually, I have a system that works, I think, even better than that. And one of the advocacy tools that I use when I organize records, and this is, I used to do it for my son Dylan, but now as an advocate, I do it for families that I work with. If I go into my advocacy toolbox here, see our cute pink advocacy toolbox, these Post-it note little tabby things are the advocacy tool of the day. These are things that I use when I'm organizing records. So if you would want to have me do a show about organizing all your school records, especially if you want to get all of that done before the new school year starts, just type in records and I can plan a specific show about how to do that. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I told you that I had a gift for you. So I have this free IEP checklist. And if you can't tell already, I'm a person that likes lists and I like to check things off my list. But I made this checklist and it's things to do before the IEP meeting, things to do during the IEP meeting, and things to do after the IEP meeting. So if you'd like that free checklist, just put checklist in the comments and I'll send you the link to that. But that's been a really helpful list. A lot of parents have really said that they've appreciated that IEP checklist. So that's something that you can get today. Just type checklist in the comments. And before we leave today, I wanted to give you one more idea about organizing, because remember, today's show is brought to you by the letter O, and that is for organization. So one other tip that I have for you is this summer, go ahead and download your child's school calendar for this next school year. Print it off. You can put it on the refrigerator. You can paper clip it to your kitchen calendar or whatever. But I think it's really helpful for us to get that picture of, you know, these are the days that the kids are going to be off, or this is an early dismissal day. Now, I don't have kids in school anymore, but because my kids are grown, but I started because I do have 4 grandkids, and I went on to their school website and started printing off their school calendars. Because as a grandparent, I want to remember in September when that grandparent lunch is and all those other things. But if you download your child's school calendar now and have that in an accessible place, it could be in a file folder with your kids' records and a notebook, like I said, maybe just on the side of your refrigerator. But that would be another organizing tip to make sure that you're more prepared for that school year when it starts. Probably in a month or so, right? But what I also wanted to share with you was next Thursday, I'm going to be driving to Sacramento with my husband and with Dylan. We're all going to the National Down Syndrome Congress. So again, I don't know where I'll be at noon on Thursday. So just keep tabs. Make sure that you like my business page, which is Visions and Voices Together. And I could type that in here. When you like my Facebook page, Visions and Voices Together, you will get notified of when I'm going live. I might not be able to go live next Thursday, and instead what I might do is the days that I'm at the conference, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I might be able to do some live interviews or some live sessions there at the conference. So make sure you like my page, Visions and Voices Together. You'll get notified, and I'll always post ahead of time when I'm going live. And trying to think if there's anything else. Make sure you check out that free app called Workflowy.com. That's a great way to get organized this summer and be more prepared for the school year. So until we see you again next week on a live show, thank you for joining us. I'm Charmaine Thaner. I'm an advocate that's passionate about helping you become an even more effective advocate for your child, because we want your child to be safe, to be happy, to be learning every day at school, and we can make this happen. So thanks again and have a great day. Take care.